So this is a story about a reel that I did that I'm going to release soon, where one of our guys sat some dude up to get robbed. I didn't never like the dude at school. We had some little run-ins with him. His name was Matt. He was a little $5 Indian dude. I never really liked him. So he'd always be running his mouth in school all the time. This had to have been around 10th, 11th grade. This had to have been around maybe 10th, 11th grade. I think it was 10th grade, but it might have been 11th grade. It wasn't 12th. So this dude was serving. He had the pounds. He was one of them $5 Indians that had the pounds and stuff like that. Or he had a little plug or whatever the case may be. He might have been getting money every month or whatever. So he thought he was one of them little wannabe tough guy kind of dudes or whatever like that. So he used to try to pick on me and do little slick stuff and all this kind of stuff. And I just never liked him. So my homie from Cedar Riverside, we gonna call him by the name of Zenai. We'll call him Zenai. Cause that was his old name. So he must have set it up with my other guy that stayed down in River Bluff with me. So, so he sets up the deal where he said, well, yeah, DP's guy is trying to buy, you know what I'm saying, some gristle. And so, what ends up happening was, and see, around this time, it probably was 10th or 11th grade because I didn't have a duplicator yet. I still was either working at, like sometimes I work at Cub, and I think that was 11th grade. It might have been 10th, but, it actually might have been 10th grade. It could have been 10th grade. But now, at one point I was working at Cub because I had the CD. So damn, it was one of those years. It was one of those years. So, and I'll show y'all next time I'm over I'm in the city. I'll show y'all exactly where it happened. So, man, this dude, he comes in with his hoodie, trying to act all cool and stuff. My homie pulls up with his Chevy. I'm sitting in the back. I get in the back. I'm riding with him at first, but then I hit in the back, and dude gets in. And he had like some kind of fake pistol or something, but it looked real. So he gets in, get ready to do the deal. And he's acting like he's going to pull the money out. And he pulls some minutes aside and shit. It really looked like some 90s movie shit. He says, hey.
Half a pound. Dried nice, smells like pine.
That's a lot of greenery for a handshake deal.
Ain't no deal. Don't move. Easy, man, I'm stepping out. DP, don't tell anyone about this.
Hey, mother MF, give up the cheese. And he said something like, he said, give up the cheese. And so, dude says, shit. And so, out of all things that this dude could do, he gives dude, it was a big bag. He gives my homie the bag, gets out the car, sticks his head back in the car and says, DP, don't tell nobody in school that this happened. Man, I can't make this up. That's what Matt says to me. He don't think like, well, damn, maybe DP's involved or something like that. He's not even thinking like that, I guess. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this dude, yeah, he got. Yeah, I wanted him to get got. So now he's humble at school now. So I get in the car, we speed off, we head right back down to River Bluff. It's literally only about 4 or 5 blocks. He can't go to the police because he's doing something illegal. I go back to school. It's this one nigga named John G. He was in their little clique. John used to hang out with all the white people and stuff like that. You know, around that time he had a little size and stuff, and he was a little taller than us. So he's going around asking questions.
Hey, who robbed my boy Matt? Man, I'm serious. Y'all think it's a joke? Nah, look at him. Head down like he lost a puppy. Whoever took his stuff, you better speak up.
Bro, man, what happened to Matt and this, that, and the third? And I'm gonna do something or whatever. So Zenai walks up out the blue, and he said, man, you ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do SH. You know, so like we know like John's acting like he's gonna try to rectify the situation or you know, and I don't even know. At that point, that might have been 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade. It wasn't 9th grade because my guy in River Bluff, he didn't go to the school no more. When I was in 10th grade, I'm trying to think he went to the school. 9th grade, I think he went to the school. And in 10th grade, maybe he went to the school. But around, I think 10th, 11th grade, I don't even think bro was really going to the school. I think he was just kind of riding around this Caprice and this Bronco and just, hustling and stuff. So I don't even think he was going to the school around that time. So he didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know him. And even if he did know him, if he saw him at school, Matt wasn't going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So John's running around the school trying to act like he checking people. Yeah, man, we're going to find out what happened to Matt. He's just going all this like I'm going to investigate.
Man, they took everything out my pocket right at the bus stop.
Now, see, that ain't fly. You let somebody run up on you like that? If it was me, I'd have had him on the ground easy.
Ha! Man, listen to y'all. Neither one of y'all about to do nothing. Y'all just talking about
laughing,
blood.
Phil.
So, and we like, nigga, you ain't about to do nothing, John. We know you ain't going to do anything. So, it was one. But yeah, after that, matter of fact, one of the reasons why I was down with the whole little thing was me and him had some words before, and I was going to beat him up over there by Wendy's or whatever like that. But I was worried about getting arrested and all kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. When my homie was like, man, he beat his ass. We go speed off. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of all led up to that. You see what I'm saying? And at one point in time, Matt had got his leg broke at school. And he had did something or said something to me. I don't know what it was. This was before the robbery. And we're on the banister. We're on the banister. The South High got a second grade banister. The statue, and we're gonna talk about that at one point. But there was a statue. So I think this had to have been 10th, 11th grade. Had to have been. There was a statue towards the bottom, and it would be like something around the statue or whatever. So you kind of lean against it. And I was this one dude next to me, this dude named Cuffs, this native GD dude, who Zena introduced to me, like the first day of school or the first.
Hi, Cuffs. This is my guy DP.
DP, cuffs.
Heard you throw hands.
Only when people ask for it.
I'm asking then.
Bet.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ha! Those play punches, right?
You still
A couple days of school, I think it was in 10th grade, I had met Cuffs.
Y'all keep looking like you don't know who's in charge out here. Name's Cuffs. Remember it.
Talk your talk, bro.
Southside's ours. Always gonna be.
Cuffs was kind of big native dude, so he's kind of bullying folks, beat, kind of pushing.
Look at him squirm.
Yo, Cuffs, you wild, man.
You about to tap out, bro.
Let me go, man.
Hush up. When you talk slick, this is what you get. Say sorry.
Sorry.
Some folks around over there because he was a little bigger than everybody else, and so he was at the second floor. Now Cuffs had already kind of respected me from like the first time that, and we'll do a story about that too. But so Cuffs is sitting there leaning against the wall, and he or not the wall, but against the balcony. So he's listening to it. So Matt's running off at the mouth where he's talking slick.
You think them sticks make you safe, huh? Keep that same energy when you heal up.
I was trying to get to class, man.
Mm-hmm. Nah, you're gonna catch what you gave. Soon as you off them crutches, I'm beating your ass. Remember that.
He had broke his leg. So I said, hey, Matt, your leg broke, so you still running off at the mouth and all doing all this. I said, as soon as your leg gets better, I'm gonna beat your ass. That was a promise. I was waiting for his leg to get. I said, I'm gonna kick his ass right on the second floor as soon as his legs get better. I said, but you on this crutch, so you running off at the mouth. I said, cause you figure I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I ain't gonna bother you. That ain't gonna be fair. I said, but as soon as your leg heal, I said, I'm whooping your ass. And so, Cuffs is kind of, cause he hung around him too. Maybe.
You feel that, huh? Steel's colder than your heartbeat, homie. Yo, he got him stapled, bro.
Man, Waleed look like a poster right now.
Next time you run your mouth, remember this. I'm the one that closed.
Maybe for protection or something like that. They had a whole little clique. But Cuffs wasn't really so much as in they clique that much that I remember. But so, but all that built up to him getting robbed. All of that got built up to him getting robbed and stuff like that. So I don't even remember. I think 10th grade, I definitely wasn't selling CDs in 9th grade. So when I built my computer, it had to have been around 10th or 11th grade. Because, matter of fact, it was. It had to have been 10th or after 10th grade. Because I bought all my computer parts, because I was in a class with Mr. Ruff.
Every time I hear that Master P fella hollering on the radio, I think the whole world forgot what music's supposed to sound like. Nothing but noise and bragging. Man's worth a fortune and still yelling. Okay. And you sitting here writing code like it's poetry. You need to get
10th grade. And all these white kids had these computer parts and stuff. And that's when Mr. Ruff was like, hey, you need to get a job.
All I hear out of those things is clatter. Master P this, Master P that. It isn't music, it's noise. You could be using your time to find a real job.
I'm literally building a payroll app, Mr. Ruff. Client's paying me next week. Well,
you know what I'm saying? So I went and got a job eventually. And I got a job at Cub. And I went and I built my computer piece by piece. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's that story. I try to keep it under 3 minutes, but this is like a longer story. Usually, y'all, my stories be 15, 20 minutes. I'm trying to shorten them up because I know y'all ain't got a lot of time. So, that's what happened with Matt, man. I haven't seen Matt in a long time. You know, that would happen a very, very long time ago. So there's definitely no ill will or whatever the case may be. But, you know, sometimes, you know, like in my 20s, like later 20s and stuff, I would see some of these little characters where we had little spats at school from middle school. And sometimes, believe it or not, some dudes still hold that against you. If you whoop somebody's ass and embarrass them, sometimes in them 20s, if they start to get into stuff like weapons play or whatever like that, sometimes they don't let that go. I'm talking about in your 20s. Now, 30s, 40s, I don't think really some people, you'd be surprised. But generally, I would see stuff where I had altercations with people when I was teens, 19, 20. And sometimes I see them just a few years later, 5, 6 years later, and you can still see that they remember, you know, what happened a long time ago. And you kind of like, man, that was a long time ago, bro. Like, I'm not really tripping on that, but you could still kind of see they got a little bit of animosity for whatever the reason was. So, yeah, man, I like seeing people I ain't seen in a long time. You see how they doing and stuff, but you know, a lot of times, a lot of dudes strung out. A lot of dudes are strung out. You know, a lot of the females is knocked up and sloppy as hell, baby mamas and everything. You know, so you know, it's interesting to see, you know, people over years or whatever. But sometimes some people doing time. This one dude that we knew, he got rolled out. You know, they got him up out of here. It's, you know, so we'll talk more about, like I say, this Adventures of DP now is going to go far and wide because I'm starting to get back some of these memories, and now I could shorten them up to 3 minute, you know, 3 minute stories and stuff like that. You know, so I just got to think about a lot of the story. Cause see, that's, some people would say, well, what does it have to do with computers? That's not, it has everything to do with it because that's what we were doing. That's what was going on. And the change in technology going into social media and stuff, these stories get to be a lot more monetized and financial as I get older because I'm sharpening my game. I'm not on the block anymore. You know what I'm saying? So now I can start talking about maybe different characters and stuff about work. But you got to understand, we weren't at work during some of these stories that I'm telling y'all. I wasn't at work. I was, you know, hanging out with some of my guys, you know, or taking buses places, or, you know, it might be at some female's house where, you know, they want to buy some stuff, or, you know, so some of these stories that I'm telling y'all, these are things that I'm witnessing, and a lot of it's funny because the way that I can make it with Brother Chat, I could show what was going on during this time. I could tell it one way. It's not, you know, I don't think I'm that interesting to where y'all just want to, but now I can show y'all the videos of stuff that was actually happening. So no, it's not everything ain't going to be technical because it was stories that was leading it to this point where I was building my character and building who I was. You see what I'm saying? So, and then there's going to be a lot of breaks and missing pieces because I might remember this, I might remember that. I be sometimes telling my homies, hey man, you got a story or whatever. Man, bro, I remember that. Hey, tell this story. Tell that story, bro. A lot of them stories are people like, hey, you remember that? Tell that story. So I tell the stories that people watch and want to hear. That too. So, you know,